offered £18 billion for Mauritius to take our territory in the Chagos Islands.
Mr. Speaker, let me deal with the serious issue she raises in relation to the Chagos case.
The Energy and Environment Secretaries received nearly £400,000 worth of donations from Lisbeth Rouse.
Thousands of jobs, billions in investment, the security of Britain's energy future. All of these hang in the balance as Starmer faces his toughest grilling yet. But amidst the political posturing, have you stopped to consider what this means for your household? In the next few minutes, we'll break down exactly how Starmer's PMQ's disaster could impact your daily life, from the cost of your energy bills to the safety of your community. This isn't just politics, it's personal. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. In a shocking turn of events, the Prime Minister's fiery exchange with Keir Starmer during PMQs has exposed a glaring weakness in Labour's approach to national security. The focal point of this heated debate, the Chagos Islands military base, a critical asset for UK security that Starmer seems to have overlooked.
Offered £18 billion for Mauritius to take our territory in the Chagos Islands. But he didn't answer the question I asked him, why the Energy Secretary was not defending our country. This is money that belongs to our children and their children. This is an immoral surrender.
The importance of this base cannot be overstated. It's not just a dot on the map, it's a vital cog in the UK's national security machinery. But here's the kicker. Without legal certainty, this base can't function effectively. It's like trying to run a high-tech computer with a faulty power supply. It's just not going to work. So, where does Starmer fit into this picture? Well, it appears he's been caught napping at the wheel. The Prime Minister didn't pull any punches, accusing Starmer of being woefully unprepared on this crucial issue.
Energy Secretary withdraw government lawyers from defending the case against the eco-nutters who want to obstruct Rosebank's oil and gas. Answer was so weak and so waffly, it is no wonder he needs a voice coach.
Mr. Speaker, let me deal with the serious issue she raises in relation to the Chagos case.
If on the other hand, she's not properly briefed on the national security implications, she's not doing her job, not fit to be Prime Minister, the PM declared, leaving the opposition leader visibly shaken. But let's dig deeper. Why is legal certainty so crucial for the base's operation? It's not just about paperwork and red tape. Without a solid legal foundation, the base becomes a house of cards, vulnerable to international pressure and unable to fulfill its strategic role. This isn't just about military might, it's about the UK's ability to project power and protect its interests on a global scale. The implications of Labour's apparent negligence are staggering. While specific figures weren't thrown around, the Prime Minister's comments suggest that British taxpayers could be left footing a hefty bill. It's not just about pounds and pence, it's about the long-term security and diplomatic standing of the UK.
Without legal certainty, the base cannot operate in practical terms as it should.
How can anyone believe that this man is defending UK interests when he bends the knee to anyone who asks him?
And it's a gift to our adversaries. Now, some within the party opposite know exactly what I'm talking about.
As the debate unfolded, a damning pattern emerged. The Prime Minister revealed that the previous government had conducted 11 out of 13 rounds of negotiations regarding the sovereignty and long-term use of the Chagos Islands base. This isn't just a minor oversight, it's a systematic failure to engage with a critical national security issue. The Prime Minister didn't mince words when assessing Labour's negotiation skills. When Labour negotiates, our country loses. He stated bluntly, it's a damning indictment of the opposition's ability to handle complex international issues, especially those with significant security implications. Just when you thought Labour's blunders couldn't get any worse, along comes an energy policy scandal that makes their national security missteps look like child's play. The Prime Minister's latest revelation about a £400,000 donation to the Energy Secretary has sent shockwaves through Westminster, raising serious questions about who's really pulling the strings in Labour's green agenda.
That is why, Mr. Speaker, that is why the last government started negotiations about sovereignty and about... She's not properly briefed on the national security implications. She's not doing her job, She's not concerned about national security. That's why the last government conducted 11 of the 13 rounds of those negotiations.
Keir Starmer's criticism of the government's approach to North Sea oil and gas licenses has spectacularly backfired. As the Prime Minister tore into Labour's energy strategy, he exposed a potential conflict of interest that could unravel Starmer's entire platform. It turns out that Labour's Energy Secretary received a hefty £400,000 donation from Elizabeth Rowling. One has to wonder, how much influence does this generous benefactor have over Labour's energy policy? The Prime Minister didn't hold back, accusing Labour of causing businesses to abandon the North Sea. This exodus threatens not just investment, but the livelihoods of thousands of workers in the energy sector. It's a stark reminder that political decisions have real-world consequences, and Starmer's green dreams might come at a devastating cost to British families.
We're right to do so. Mr. Speaker, I will set out the details when they're finalised, and it will of course be presented to Parliament.
The Energy and Environment Secretaries received nearly £400,000 worth of donations from Lisbeth Rousing.
Then she knows exactly what I'm talking about in terms of national security and legal certainty.
But the hits kept coming. The Prime Minister unveiled the true cost of Labour's energy strategy, and it's enough to make your head spin. He referred to GB Energy, Labour's flagship proposal, as nothing more than a vanity project. This pet initiative would take a staggering 20 years to create a mere 1,000 jobs. Meanwhile, Labour's stance on North Sea oil and gas puts 200,000 existing jobs at immediate risk. It's a simple numbers game, and Starmer's math doesn't add up. The Prime Minister didn't mince words when addressing the UK's energy security. He emphasized the critical need to continue extracting oil and gas, especially given the increasing competition from the US and other countries. It's a sobering reminder that while green energy is important, we can't afford to ignore our oil reserves in an increasingly unstable world. Perhaps the most damning accusation came when the Prime Minister suggested that Starmer's connections with eco-activists are compromising his ability to defend UK interests. When Labour negotiates, our country loses, the Prime Minister declared, painting a picture of an opposition leader more concerned with appeasing activists than protecting British jobs and security. The Prime Minister's scathing critique of Labour's track record serves as a stark wake-up call for voters. It's not just about Starmer's fumbling performance at PMQs, it's about the broader implications for the country's future. The PM's remarks paint a grim picture of Labour's decision-making, suggesting their policies have led to significant losses in investment and job opportunities. This isn't just political posturing, it's a direct challenge to Labour's credibility and competence. But what does this mean for the average voter? It's a reminder that we can't take political promises at face value. We need to dig deeper, scrutinize track records, and question the real-world consequences of policy decisions. Labour's recent missteps could reshape public perception and trust in the party, potentially altering the political landscape for years to come. As we look to the future, one can't help but wonder, will this disastrous showing be the turning point that reshapes British politics? Or will it be just another blip in the tumultuous world of Westminster? Only time will tell, but one thing's certain, voters will be watching more closely than ever.